Okay, perfect. Attitu, tungusugi, tunguhugi, and atilihai. Welcome everybody, or pujo, aniin, gwe, sako, wache, for our Cree folks. Um, Welcome everybody to Makitati Atuk Day 7. It's a Wednesday today, so we're going to be going over some core warm-up, a core workout, and a core cool-down. So I'm going to be walking us through that. And please, if you have any questions or concerns, you can leave them in the comment section. I'll be trying to keep watch on that over here. And before we get started, I would just like to say thank you to the Toronto Inuit Association staff for getting this going online for the virtual Makitati Atuk program. So thanks to them, as well as Sport Canada and Canadian Heritage for funding the Ayungitut program, which is the umbrella program which Makitati Atuk is a part of. So thank you, and thank you all for joining me today. My name is Makwa Baskin. I'm Ojibwe and Mi'kmaq from Toronto. So yeah, without further ado, let's get into this. So the first thing we're going to be doing is some bent over rotations. So I have my dog right there in the background. Of course, it's probably going to clean herself. But anyways, so bent over rotations are pretty interesting. So you want to keep your legs, your feet shoulder width apart. And as you're reaching down, you want to sturdy yourself. So on your, well, basically whatever foot you feel comfortable with. I'm going to be starting with my right side. So I'm going to take my left hand and I'm going to grip the inside of my foot as I'm bent down and just try to twist upwards. So as you can see, just really trying to twist. So we're trying to stretch out the oblique muscles before we get into the workout. So just like so, trying to turn your core, trying to turn your chest to face, for me, my right side. So just doing this and holding this for 30 seconds. If you need some extra support, you can go to the other leg and you can try to turn your body around like so. And you want to try to be low to the floor. But if you can't, you can just be parallel, straight ahead from your waist. So I'm going to be switching sides. So again, just standing shoulder width apart. I'll be grabbing my other foot and trying to turn my body now to my left side. So just like so. And again, holding each side for 30 seconds. You can also try to pull in your abdominals or your stomach, just trying to make it tight, which will also add to the stretch. Whew. Okay. From there, we're going to do some knee lifts. So essentially, you just want to lift your knee up to your chest. So for me, I like to pull it in by my ankle. So from the side, just like so. And again, if you can, you want to try to pull in your stomach or pull in your abdominal muscles and really just try to flex those. So this will be a really good stretch for your lower abdominals. Now, if you can do this without pulling in your ankle, that is great. That way you'll be really focusing on your lower abs to hold your leg up. Now switching sides, so I'll be doing my left side now. And again, if you want to pull in by the ankles, you're welcome to, but just trying to hold it about parallel or higher than your waist, and just trying to hold that up, trying to engage the lower abdominals. Okay. So now we're going to do some side toe touches. So we're going to be standing with our feet shoulder width apart, and you just want to reach down on one side, and again, just reaching down to one side of your legs. Hi, girl. This is my dog, Red. Oh, she's gone. Usually I don't have them on camera, but I figure it's nice enough just to let them walk around the apartment for now. Oh. And they're going downstairs. So now I'm reaching over to the other side. So we're just reaching down for 30 seconds on each side. And again, if you can, really try to pull yourself towards your leg, because the closer you get to your leg, trying to get your knee to your chest as you bend in, the more you'll stretch out your abdominal muscles as well as your lower back. So, and when we're talking about core strength and stabilization, we're really talking about the abdominals and our obliques as well as our lower back. So it's really good to have that strength that really makes up the core. So now we're going to go into child's pose. We'll be holding this one for 30 seconds. So I will show you what that looks like first from the front. So I like to sit back with my knees together, with the soles of my feet facing upwards, so the top of my foot is into the mat. And then just reaching forward, just like so, from the side. Again, sitting back on my heels, keeping my knees together, and just reaching forward. So we're going to hold this position for about 30 seconds. If you can't keep your knees together, you're welcome to spread them apart. But ideally, you want to keep your knees together as you stretch. You can also move your neck around to the left and right sides, looking down as well as looking up. If you want to get in some extra neck stretching and just really loosen up the neck. And when you're also in that position, you can, again, always when we're doing these positions, really trying to pull the stomach in or really clench the abdominal muscles. Whenever you're doing that, for the duration of 30 seconds with the release as we do these different movements, we're really forcing our abs to, as well as our lower back and obliques, to engage in the activity. So the fourth stretch we're going to do is the bridge stretch, but you can also do the camel stretch. So the bridge stretch is putting your body up as like so. So as you go back, lifting your chest, stomach, abs up into the air. And the camel stretch which is the easier of the two. I'll start with that one first. So this is an either or. Again, whichever one you feel comfortable doing. Putting your arms back on your heels and trying to lean back. Just like so. So this is the same idea as the bridge stretch, but again, we're just really opening up the chest as well as pushing our abdominals out. So you can do this for 30 seconds, or alternatively, we can do some bridge stretching. So this is what the bridge looks like. Again, this is a really great stretch for our abdominals, but you can really do either or. From the side. Now again, this is, from what I understand, not a beginner yoga stretch, so there might be some difficulty in doing so. It does require some upper body strength, but again, if you can do the bridge, I recommend it. Otherwise, we can also do the camel stretch. So it's really an either or. The bridge stretch I find better, but again, as long as we're leaning back and pushing out our abdominals, it's a great stretch. So, and when you're doing the bridge, you want to attempt to get your arms extended all the way back, and again, pushing your stomach or your abdominal muscles like so, creating that bridge. That was a good little tutorial for both. So moving on from the bridge and or camel stretch, whatever feels best for you. We're going to be doing some sun salutation stretches now. So this is really good for the similar reason. Again, we're going to be pushing out our abdominals. So you can start in military push-up position, and then you just want to push up like so. You can try to get your hands underneath your shoulders as you stretch upwards, and just leaning back. Again, the focus here is really trying to open up that core as we push back. And again, as we're moving through these warm-ups, really try to engage your core like as I am now. I'm really trying to pull in my belly button, and it's really adding to the stretch. So as I pull in my stomach, don't forget to breathe. Just holding in that stomach. When I'm doing sun salutation, and I'm not coming into it from downward dog, I like to go back in a child's pose just to reset my lower lumbar, so the lower back area. And yeah, so that was our warm-up. Now I'm going to get into the actual core exercises. So that's going to look like some very traditional basic crunches, followed by sit-ups and then leg lifts. And then we're going to try some rotators as we're coming up. When we're doing these rotators, you are free to grab an object, something that's a little bit weighted if you wanted to hold that as we're going through. But there's, again, no equipment needed except for a yoga mat or a bunch of towels, whatever works. So we'll get into these crunches. So crunches are really great for the upper part of the abs. And you'll find that as I'm working through this, I like to go upper, middle, lower, and then all together. So we get into some crunches. So for me, I like to put my weight on my chest and just coming up and really trying to get your shoulders off of your mat. And we're just going to do these crunches 10 times. So doing them, I'm going to be doing them slowly. I like to just really get that control in with the core. Control is very important with the core. So as I'm coming up, and right when I feel that tension start in my upper abs, I hold that position for a little bit and slowly go back down until I'm in resting position, and I come back up. And if you have problems with keeping your legs together, your feet together, keeping them sturdy, you can stick them underneath a table or the underneath of a sofa, really anything that you can put your feet between that'll keep them in place. And you can inch closer to the object to really sturdy yourself. So I'll do 3 more. And from the side, just in case so you can see where exactly I'm lifting to, just here. Again, just to engage that upper part of my core. And then slowly coming back down. So those are the crunches. So now we're going to get up into sit-ups. So just like crunches, except coming all the way up and crunching once we get to our top spot. So again, I like to grab my shoulders. You can put your arms behind your head as well. But for this purpose, and what I like to do is as I'm coming up, I like to really push my chest out and then go back down. So for this, I'll be keeping my arms in sort of a boxing position. You might have seen some videos of guys coming up, you know, throwing some punches and going back down, similar to that. So again, coming up, pushing up that chest, and then you'll really feel that, keeping your back straight as you come down. And again, really pushing out that chest. So it'll really engage the lower back, really engage the abs as you're pulling up. Putting my feet underneath my desk, my table. And again, coming up. And again, you just want to push that chest out. So just like so. And I like to just do it slowly to really engage the abs. And again, just really trying to hold that chest firm, keeping your back straight. Just like so. So again, I like to do it slowly. You can absolutely come up and just start whipping them up, but I find that going slower really gives that plank type of feel when you're doing these sit-ups. So I like to use a lot of slow movements and a lot of holding. After these sit-ups, we're going to do some leg lifts. So lying flat on our backs, we're going to be raising our legs to about above our waists and then putting them back down. So just raising our legs to our hips and then back down to the floor. So I'll show you what that looks like. So again, laying down flat. You can try to keep your body in crunch form, keeping your shoulders and neck up. This will increase the workout, so you'll really put pressure on your upper abs as well as the lower abs. And just lifting up. If you want to make this even more challenging, you can keep your feet off the floor the whole time as you're lifting them. Again, I do everything in slow movements, but just like so, you can really feel that tightness in the lower abs as you're doing these workouts. So just like so. In terms of balance, you can have your arms out to your sides and you can stabilize yourself. If doing 2 legs is too difficult, you can always double the reps and do single leg lifts. So instead of doing 10, you would do 20, but you could just lift the one leg. Once you've done 10 on this side, 10 on the other side, and even out. Otherwise, for me, keeping my upper core tight as I'm bringing it all up. Wow. Usually my dogs bark when someone comes to the door, but this time they're pretty good. Okay, so after our leg lifts, we're going to be getting into some Russian twists or oblique twists, as they're probably more respectfully known as. So we're going to get into our sit-up position, except now, sort of like the leg lifts, we're going to be engaging our lower core by lifting our legs up. You can either balance one leg on the other, hooking it with your heel, or you can just have them up, whatever's most comfortable for you. And once you're in this position, sort of in this V position, so my legs are lifted, my upper body's lifted, but I'm not fully together, nor am I laying down, just in between. And you want to come behind and you want to reach behind you on both sides. So those are oblique twists. Obviously it focuses on your obliques or your side abs. So we're going to be getting into that. At this time now, if you have any type of heavy object or anything that you would like to use to increase the difficulty in this, you're more than welcome to do so. I don't really have anything around me like that, but well, I have weights, but it's not the point, you know. So anyways, getting into this position, reaching behind you, again, keeping everything off the floor. We're going to be doing this 20 times, so 10 on each side. You can feel free to do less or more, whatever you feel comfortable with, but that is essentially it. So again, we're just coming behind, reaching. The easiest way for me to do it and make sure that I have correct form is when I'm going, I like to just keep my shoulders and my arms parallel, so when I'm reaching behind, it looks like so. Reaching behind this way, looks like so. That's just an easy way to keep it working, easy way to keep yourself regulated. Now, after those oblique twists, we're going to do some side crunches. So we're going to be getting down into side crunch position. So again, I keep one leg on its side, flat against the floor. One is bent and straight up with my knee pointing towards the ceiling, my body is coming up between my legs here, and we're just really trying to get our oblique muscles to crunch. So for me, to keep myself regulated, to keep myself in good form, I like to try to put my elbow as I'm here on the side through my legs as I'm coming up. So we're going to do these 10 times on each side. And I know it's kind of awkward because we're so close to the floor when we're doing these crunches, but again, trying to keep the idea of slow movements and holding in mind. Coming up, we just want to try to hold that tension in our obliques and then release it and releasing it. So again, trying to get that tension. And releasing it. So switch to the other side as well to show you what that looks like from the side view. Again, I also like to keep my foot that is flat against the floor leaned on its side. I like to put that one just behind the other foot, and I like to wrap it around using my heel or ankle. And I like to keep that locked in place. Coming down in this position again, trying to get my left elbow now through my legs as I'm coming up. And again, as you're coming up, you want to really get that tension and hold it and come back down. So you're really going to feel that in the obliques, in the side of your abs, really pushing that. And there we are. So whew. Those are the side crunches. So now, if you found that this was too easy, we're going to be getting into our final workout, so maybe wait till after that. But if at any point you do find that any of these are too easy, you can also add in some sets to these, so keeping the workouts the same, but you just do them twice, 3 times, or 4 times over in a day. And that'll really push to get those abdominals into a state that you want them to. Again, it just depends on how much you want to work them. So now we're going to get into some plank with lifts. So from last Wednesday, we had done planks, various versions of planks. But for this one, we're just going to stay traditional with the traditional plank. For this, I'm going to be going down on my elbows just because I find that that really hits the core more. And while we're in this, we're going to be in plank for 30 seconds total and counting in your head every time that you hit 3 seconds. So 3, 6, 9, 12, etc. We're going to lift our bodies up. So I'll show you what that looks like. So I'm in plank position here. 1, 2, 3. And then I'm lifting and going back down. 1, 2, 3. So in total, you're going to be doing this 10 times. And so we're getting in that plank, but we're also really getting in those obliques, the lower and upper abs, as well as the mid of the core, to really lift our bodies out of this plank position, just like so. So 1, 2, 3. Whew. So those are the plank lifts. So again, we're just going to be holding that plank position 30 seconds. And every time you count 3 in your head, just lifting your body up. So in total, you should do about 10 seconds. Sorry, 10 seconds. You should be doing 10 reps. So doing 10 of those movements, but still maintaining that plank position so that we're engaging the core the whole time. And that was our workout session. So now we're going to get into the cool down. So for this, we're going to go back to standing position, although I'm sure you could do it sitting if you just want to rest. And just, we're going to be leaning back. Again, trying to stretch those abs out. So I like to put one arm behind, trying to keep the other side straight forward while the other one is bending back, and really trying to make a C in my spine, pushing my chest to the ceiling. You can put your head back if that helps. And we're just going to hold this for 30 seconds, and then we'll switch to the other side. So really trying to stretch out our sides, our obliques. Switching to the other side. Again, just leaning back. So I like to keep the arm that I'm leaning on straight, and it's really just all about pushing out the abs as we stretch backwards. So just like so. So now we can lean back all together now that we've done the right and left side. So putting both of our hands back, keeping them straight, and pushing out that chest. So that was the leaning back. So now we're going to do some oppositional toe touching. Although I think that it might be best to just do it in the pancake form. So really just spreading out our legs as far as they can go. I think that's it for me. And then reaching down one side, and to specifically target the core, I'm trying to get my sides down flat against my leg. Now we've done that side. We're going to reach down to the other side. And again, I'm just trying to get my core flexed in, get it tight, and try to get myself flat against my leg. So this is overall just a really great stretch, not only for our obliques, but our core in general, including the lower back. Just trying to pull yourself in. Now we're going to reach forward. Again, trying to reach out as far as you can. And again, just holding this position about 30 seconds. And as I'm doing this, I'm really trying to hold in that core, releasing it as I breathe. So as I breathe in, I'm tightening the core. As I breathe out, I'm loosening the core. From there, we're going to do the world's greatest stretch. So this stretch is, I don't know if I would call it the world's greatest stretch, but it's certainly a stretch. But coming down into this position, I try to get my pelvis down to the mat as close as I possibly can. And then I like to extend my back leg. Now, if you can't extend your back leg, you can keep it planted like mine is now. But otherwise, we're trying to really get our pelvis down towards the mat once we're in that knee position, and then extend the leg up, just so it's easier for us to get into this locked position. I'm planting my hand down the side, the knee, starting against it, and just twisting my body facing this way. If you want to switch it up, you can stretch from this side as well. But for now, I like to go parallel with my body. So I'm just stretching like so. And again, holding this position for 30 seconds. If that's too difficult, again, you can plant your knee and you can really come down and do the same technique. So now switching sides. Again, I'm back into this foot planted, knee planted position. Really trying to push that pelvis down towards the mat and then coming down yourself. I'm extending the back leg and just twisting my body up, just like so. But again, you can keep that knee in the back planted if you want to get through these stretches. Okay. From this, we're going to be doing the Superman stretch. So similar like what I was talking about with the breathing in and tightening and breathing out and loosening. We're going to be doing the similar thing, but in the Superman pose. So Supermans are an easy concept, but they are a hard workout and very good for your body. So we're going to be lifting up our upper body, so our chest off of the floor, while also lifting our legs, so our quadriceps off of the floor as well. And we are going to try to hold that for 30 seconds, lifting our body off of the floor. And we're going to be breathing in and tightening and breathing out and loosening. So just like so. You're welcome to keep your arms together like mine. Keep them out. Whatever's easiest for you. So just like so for 30 seconds. just like so. Well, thank you for joining us, and yeah, really shout outs to Paige. You know, happy birthday, Paige. Those of you who don't know, it's Paige. Paige's birthday. Paige, who works at the Toronto Inuit Association. Really a star. So after those Supermans, we're gonna get into some knee twists. So we're gonna be lying flat on our back, bring our knees upwards, bent at a 90 degree, keeping them parallel with our hips, bring them over to each side, 30 seconds each side. So just like so, arms out to the side, and just bringing them down to the side. And we're just gonna hold this position. I like to look the opposite way than where my knees are pointed, just to get that neck stretch in as well. And I'm just going to be holding this for 30 seconds, and then we'll be switching over. Again, to the other side. So just like that, really just trying to stretch out on both ends. Please stop. Yeah, so I mean, everybody should really be wishing Paige a happy birthday. If that's not on anybody's agendas today, that should be the first thing on their agenda. Wishing Paige a happy birthday. So happy birthday, Paige. I hope it's like the best day that you could ever imagine. So back into that position with our knees up. I'm going to be pulling our knees in. So trying to pull them into our chest while we're laying flat on our back. Again, happy birthday, Paige. So lying flat on my back, pulling the knees in. And if you can, try to push with your core. Try to push with your core against your knees as you're pulling them in. Again, just trying to always engage the core. If you find that it's easier to keep them wide, you can keep your legs wide as you're pulling them in. Again, whatever is comfortable for you. And again, just doing this for 30 seconds. If you find it's too much to use both, you can always pull one leg in and then do the other side, so that would be an extra 30 seconds to get it even. But you are more than welcome to do it like so. Oh man, what a great place to work at. So there we have it. So that was the Makitatsiatsuk Wednesday core workout. I hope you all enjoyed, but also really benefit from these lives. Again, if you found that this was too easy, I'm not going to be going through what would be considered my full core workout. I would be doing these in sets, but if you would like to add sets to them, so doing the core workout again, once over, twice over, 3 times, 4 times over, but still doing the warm-up and the cool-down, very important. You're more than welcome to. These are really just some follow-alongs and some ideas for people to use in their own workouts. So again, if you want to use these, you're more than welcome to just watch the archived videos, which you can find on our Facebook page under live and then videos. So yeah, so this is really good. Thank you all for joining me, and yeah, happy birthday, Paige. Again, yeah, it's the most important part of today's live session is Paige's birthday. So again, happy birthday, Paige, and take care, everybody.